Thanks for clicking on State of the City. I'm Todd Prafke. I was just kind of smiling at big breaths because here we go again. Here's another episode of State of the City. Today is Tuesday the 18th of June. It really is a beautiful day out today. I was down to the pool for a little bit. It wasn't too natty. Oh, the gnats have been terrible. Hey, let me talk about that a little bit. But first, I promised I would do a shout out to a couple of avid watchers. So Lynette, thanks for watching. We appreciate when you're watching. And Jane, thank you for clicking on State of the City or watching it on YouTube, or maybe Jane is watching it on cable access too on our PEG channel. But however you're watching it, we really appreciate you, Lynette and Jen. So hello, shout out to you. Anyway, back to the gnats. It wasn't that natty. I've had a number of people talk to me about, well, why doesn't the city do massive spraying? You know, the city hasn't done massive spraying for gnats or mosquitoes or anything like that for probably more than 25 years. Maybe it's more than 30 years now. I've only been here, well, I'm coming up on 22 years, but for many years, more than a couple of decades, we have not done mass spraying. In the olden days, in the 1950s and 60s and into the 70s and 80s, there was spraying that went on. I think there's a couple different things that's the basis for the council decision that long time ago. One of which is, I don't know how effective it really is with the river bottom here, and a little breeze blows all the bugs back in. Second of all, we really believe in personal protection in lots of things. Personal protection is very important. And so whether you want to use DEET, or whether you want to use Swamp Thing, or whether you want to use Buggins, or whether you want to use, well, I was down at McDonald's the other day, and one of the well-seasoned gentlemen down there told me that he swears by a vanilla scented car air freshener hanging on the back of his baseball hat. He thinks that's the answer for gnats. But whatever, I guess the point is, whatever works for you, works for you. And it doesn't have to be something that I don't like, or I don't have to be touched by or impacted by the use of that chemical. Where when we citywide spray, it impacts everybody, and maybe that's not good for some people's health. There's someone with asthma or other things that are going on. Now, that's not the reason to not do everything, but frankly, personal protection works really well. And so, well, we'd encourage you to do that, and we'll hope the gnats die off really quick. Believe me, I hope the gnats die off really quick. Anyway, a couple of missions today. First of all is to go through the workshop. Here's a copy of the workshop agenda from just last night. So I'll talk about the three things on there pretty quick, and then I have some tidbits of information that I hope is of value to you as you work, live, or play here in St. Peter. So here's the agenda. You'll see on there the building department. Dean Bussey is our building official and does a great job. He and Dave and Danielle and Cindy, all part of his crew, do a great job, and this is part of the presentation that they provided, or that Dean provided at the meeting, and did a great job of explaining some of the challenges, some of the big things that are going on. We do want to remind you that you need permits for some of the things that are in town, and there is good value to you, especially for someone like me who maybe is building a deck or something else and doesn't really 100% know exactly what the code is or how to make things go. Dean can provide some assistance. Dave can provide some assistance with that. So anyway, building department did a great presentation, so we're always happy to see them as a part of the agenda. Also, we did a wastewater treatment plant tour, and I know you're probably saying, ugh, wastewater treatment plant tour. You asked those council members that have been on the tour. Some of them it was a first time experience. Some of them have been through it before. Wastewater treatment plant's pretty cool tour. There's lots of technology, there's lots of biology, there's lots of chemistry that goes into what happens with wastewater within our community. And I know we pay a little bit more probably now. We used to pay a lot more than everybody, but everybody's been catching us because they've had to catch up on treating water before it goes into the Minnesota River. Frankly, sometimes we're paying for the sins of the past. And in this instance, since the mid-1960s, we've been dumping waste into this Minnesota River. And we just can't continue to do that anymore. And so we have one of the best wastewater treatment plants as far as its ability to treat waste that there is in Minnesota. So again, it's a fantastic tour. Maybe ask one of those council members what they think of it. We haven't done tours for a while, but maybe if we get some calls, we'll do it again. I will mention that it is likely one of the tours that we're going to do has a part of our civic engagement, or our what we're calling our Citizens Academy that's going to be this fall. I haven't forgot about Citizens Academy. I hope you haven't. I've only got about 3 or 4, maybe 5 people that have emailed and said that they're interested. I'm going to give you an email list or location later where you can email me and say whether you're interested or not. And if you're really interested in wastewater treatment plant, we can make sure that that's on the list to tour as a part of that. So anyway, fantastic, really cool stuff. The last one that I have on there is website redesign. I don't know that that's exactly accurate. It's accurate in the sense that we're going to have a new website in the near future, I hope. Hopefully the council will approve this at their next council meeting. We're likely to spend over $20,000 on developing a website. But here's some things you need to know. One of which is the current software that we use to mount or put our website out is no longer supported and hasn't been for a couple of years. There's no longer patches. It doesn't have the security stuff that it needs. There's some other problems with it. And if any of you deal with software, those patches and security issues continue to be more and more and more important. From a needs perspective, well, from an aesthetic perspective, from a design perspective, we haven't redone our website in now over a dozen years. So we've gotten pretty good mileage out of the website that we have. But there are some things that we think people within our community, I'm confident that people in our community want to see be better on our website. So some of those things include you want to be able to make easier online payments of your utility bills, or maybe it's a payment for a dog license or an application for a job you want to be able to do online. We're really clunky with our current system and how that works, and it's got to be smoother. It just has to be smoother. We also have to have those security updates. We want to make sure that it's easier for our staff and then for you to be able to utilize some of the stuff that we upload, the data, the council packets, the packets from planning and zoning, the park board packet. So those things are easily searchable and more usable for you who want to see that stuff, who want us to be transparent within the community. So there's a long list. I've just given you a few of them, but that's one of the reasons we're asking the council to approve a new website. Now, if the council does approve that, it's probably about 6 months out before we launch online, and then another couple or few months until we have more full functionality on some of those things like job applications and other things. So anyway, we'll see what the council decides on Monday night. That's going to be something that's in front of them on Monday night. And personally, I hope that they go forward. It's time for us to move forward. This is the time that's right to do it. So let me hit on a couple of other things that I think might be important to you. First of all, the Community and Patient Advisory Committee, or I guess it's called the Patient and Community Advisory Committee from River's Edge. I've plugged this a couple of times. This is a committee that gives input to the hospital staff and the commission about services at the hospital. So if you're interested in that, there's the person to talk to. Email Stephanie Holden. I guess you could give her a call there too and talk to her about your interest on serving on that group. They'll meet a couple of times, maybe it's a few times a year for an hour or two. And solicit input and give folks information about what's going on at the hospital. So if you're interested in that, you don't have to be a patient to be a community participant in this, but if you are, that's cool too. So anyway, love to have you participate in this if you have interest. Want to congratulate the ambassadors on Blues Fest, which was just last weekend. They had great weather and a great turnout. They've struggled for a couple of years with weather, so it's great to have wonderful weather. And the Jimmies were fantastic. A lot of great groups that were there. So thanks to them. As you may be aware, the proceeds from that event were going to go towards helping with the new pavilion stage. And so we're excited about that. So thanks to the ambassadors. They put in just a boatload of work. We're happy to help them and how we help them, but they put in a boatload of work to make that event work out. Also, 4th of July is coming up. Again, it's June 18th today, 4th of July. Watch for more information on our website, in the hot sheet, and on the Chamber of Commerce website. The Chamber of Commerce is the host organization for that. So they're really the ones that run that. We provide kind of the venue. We, the city, provides kind of the venue. But they do such a great job, and I think they probably still need a few volunteers, so don't be afraid to give them a call at 934-3400. Ask for Emily or Ed, and either of them will be able to help you out if you want to volunteer, maybe work the parade or work down and help out down at Minnesota Square Park. There's a great picnic, and the ambassadors are cooking chicken again, and there's entertainment, and it's I say this every year, it is a slice of Americana. So anyway, it's a great event for you and for the entire family. So watch for that. I also want to give a kudos to the library and to the recreation folks. So this is the theme for this year's reading program that's going on this summer, A Universe of Stories. Fantastic stuff. There's almost a couple hundred kids signed up for this. So it's not too late. You can jump in anytime. And again, also kudos to the pool staff and those other folks. The pool has been hopping. If you have not been at the pool this year, it's worth your time to go down to the pool. And again, as we often say, the family pass is still around $40. There is not a better deal for summer entertainment any place within the tri-state area. It's really cool. I want to mention a couple others. Pavilion work is still continuing to go on. If you're interested in participating financially, you have some connection there, let us know. We'd love to help you out, but that work continues to progress. And again, 4th of July will be held at Minnesota Square Park. Big park, lots of room, still have the 4th of July there. I want to mention food waste composting has been online for now a week, a little bit more than a week. This is the stuff that you can put in food waste composting. There are 2 locations for you to dump off your food waste. This stuff, not other stuff, this stuff. There's one at the corner of Swift and St. Julian, and then there's one at the Jefferson Ball Fields up there just off Jefferson Ball Fields and Mink Drive, I guess, Jefferson and Mink Drive. So look for those if you want to participate. Send us an email and we'll get you the code for the dumpsters where you can put your food waste. Put these things. Can help save us all money and help the environment as well. Very cool. I want to mention MRVT. I'm just clicking through them. Transit, a couple big things. I do want to mention that we still have that corridor route that goes from Le Sueur to St. Peter to Mankato and back and forth. A couple days a week and one Saturday a month, and we can change that up, and we might in the future, but that's what's going on. And then also within St. Peter, $1 kid rides on MRVT, so you got to be 6 and over and haul your kid to the pool or wherever they're going for $1 on Dial-A-Ride. Can't beat that. Hot Sheet, sign up for the Hot Sheet. Love to have you do that. This is the Hot Sheet, the weekly newsletter, and I'm running out of time. I'm over time. This is how you contact us. Love it if you'd like us on Facebook. Check us out. Contact us. Love to visit with you and talk about what's going on within our community. Thanks again for clicking on State of the City. Hope to see you again next time.